against the law. Cool mama look down and spit on the ground.
All right, good morning, everyone. Happy Friday. Thank you so much for joining us, for joining me today here at Coffee with the Principal. Believe it or not, this is our final Coffee with the Principal for the school year. I really appreciate each of you joining over the course of the school year. I've enjoyed our time on Fridays together. And it's a pleasure to be able to share updates about the school, but also to dialogue and to answer questions that folks may have. So thank you. These coffees with the principals wouldn't happen without you. So thank you so much for being part of it and for being here. All right, let's get going. So as a reminder, just as always, we've joined the meeting muted. Feel free to use the chat box as needed. We are recording and we do share with families afterwards. We send it out to our newsletter so people are able to watch the recording afterwards. So thank you for doing that. If you haven't already done so, you may want to subscribe to our YouTube channel where we post these updates and you can see all the updates moving forward. 8th grade families, you're welcome to do that, even though you're sending your kid to a high school next year. So what on earth is this? So if you remember in the previous coffees with the principal, I somehow agreed to let the students slime Mr. Hunsberger during the last week of school for taking their time, showing their work when it came to the math and the ELA and the science testing that we did at the end of the year. And the students did a great job at that. So they took their time, they showed their work. We don't have the results yet for that, but as soon as we do, those will be the school results will be available publicly, and you as a parent, you'll get your results for your child. But anyway, the stuff has arrived and so have our buckets. And so I think next Thursday is the day where the principal gets slimed. So be on the lookout for photos after the event, because that will be an event. Also this week, even though we're in the final weeks of school, students are still presenting, they're still preparing, they're still learning. We have our presentations of learning next week. I'll say a little bit more about that in a minute. Some of you are joining us for those. But again, we wanted to shout out our teachers and our students who continue to delve deep into instruction as we approach the end of the school year. A couple announcements as we move forward. One of them is from Miss Jones, and that is Miss Jones's church is putting on a math academy this summer for middle school students from Monday, June 20th through Thursday, June 23rd. It's run in conjunction with the church, but also with the Center for Math and Teaching, CMAT. So if you're interested in having your child participate in that, that is happening June 20th through the 23rd. There is a link on the slide that you can have access to this document and send it in. I've also put the link in the chat if you're interested in that. Uniform donation. So this is the time of year when students are ending the year and they want to do some free dress days, and they've also got these school uniforms that are going to be too small for them next year because middle schoolers are growing. And so every year we have a uniform donation drive. And what we do is for students who would like to, or for parents who would like to donate their child's uniform, if you bring those in a bag, plastic bag or a paper bag to our main office, please either lightly used, or gently used uniforms, or maybe uniforms that they never wore. What we will do is we will give your child a free dress pass that can be used on one of the days during the final week of school. And this will allow the kid to enjoy a day of free dress pass. We do require that the child turn in uniforms on one of the days before they use this. So we don't want kids coming to school in free dress and a bag of clothes and no free dress pass. What we wanted to do is a process where we can keep those things distinct. So you or child brings clothes to the main office, we count them, we give you dress passes, and then your child can use them next week. Any day next week is fine. They just have to have this. Please treat it like cash, don't lose it. This allows them to come to school in free dress. So I think we sent out that via Blackboard, but that's coming out in other ways too. Shout out to Ms. Dunklin, who did our CAASPP testing this year. We are done with it formally. We are doing some makeups this coming Monday. So Ms. Dunklin has a list of students who either needed more time or were absent a couple days. So she'll be finishing up those makeups this Monday, June 6th. Tonight is the 7th and 8th grade formal at the Center Point Club down in Playa Vista. So we are excited to be hosting that. Payment was due, I think, 2 days ago, and our eligible students are participating in that. It's 5:30 to 8:30. Families, please, 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 please be sure to arrive by 8:30 at the latest to pick up your child. We do not want to have any staff members who are there past their bedtimes supervising children who haven't been picked up. So please plan on picking them up by 8:30 at the latest. But I think it's going to be a great a time this evening to celebrate our 8th graders who are going to culminate and our 7th graders who are going to become 8th graders. So super excited. June is Pride Month, and so one of the ways that we're going to celebrate that here at Katherine Johnson STEM Academy is with some themed attire days next week and some activities during advisory. So Monday is Sports Day, and this is for all students. It is optional, so students may optionally wear clothes that represent their favorite team or their favorite sports team. So they don't need a free dress pass for that on Monday. If they come in attire for their favorite team, we will welcome them and celebrate that. I have posted this on Class Dojo, and as a matter of habit, we will post any themed days or uniformed days on Class Dojo so that kids can and you can know what the themed days are. And if your kid said it's a free dress day, you can look on Class Dojo and see whether it is or not. So yeah, you are welcome to have your child participate in that. You do not have to. If they don't, then they are required to be in school uniform. Next Wednesday, immediately after school, we are excited to welcome back Ms. Faye Mandel, who is going to do a presentation on personal safety. She's going to do it in person in our conference room right after school from 4 o'clock to 5 o'clock. We are going to have some food. I think it's going to be Subway. And then Ms. Casimir will also be available on hand to supervise any children that you may have with you, whether it's your middle school student or whether it may be, say, younger children. That's fine too, because we know some of our kids have little brothers and sisters. So that is next Wednesday. Also, next Tuesday and Wednesday well, let me back up and say this. All of our students, 6th, 7th, and 8th graders are putting together presentations of learning. And those presentations of learning are a recap of, we've asked them to choose one piece of work that they have been really proud of and that they want to analyze and that they want to reflect on. And they're analyzing that as we speak, and they're reflecting on that, and they're all presenting those. This is the first time we're doing this in this way, and to make it more manageable, we decided that the current 7th and 8th graders would prepare their presentations and then use an app called Flipgrid to record a video or narration over. So they are not presenting theirs live, they are presenting theirs asynchronously, meaning they're just doing a recording of it and those get uploaded to the school and we can review them that way. However, our 8th graders are presenting live, and all of our 8th graders are presenting either next Tuesday or next Wednesday and here in our conference room. And I want to thank all of the families who have already signed up to be a parent panelist on one of those days or a couple of those slots. Thank you so much. I see a couple people in this Coffee with the Principal who have done that. I want to thank you. We still, and also I want to shout out the fact that we've reached out to LMU, and they'll have a representative here those days as well. We've also got several businesses in the community who are sending someone to represent the community to be on the panel as well. So it's going to be a great day where we're listening to kids present. We'll have some follow-up questions for our panelists that you can ask the kids, and yeah, we're super excited about that. I still have some slots available Tuesday afternoon, June 7th. So I'm still hoping and looking for one or two parents who may be able to do one or both of those slots specifically on Tuesday, June 7th. So if you're sitting here and you're like, you know what, I haven't signed up yet, but you know what, I think I could, and I would like to do so. I do have availability on Tuesday, June 7th in the afternoon slot. So put the link in the chat, and there it is. All right, I want to talk a little bit about the logistics around next Friday, June 10th. It is the last day of school. It is also our culmination day. It is also a minimum day. So what does that look like for different groups of students? And so I want to go over that here just so that it's clear. Also, this information is on the culmination page in our website, but here we go. So it's a minimum day and culmination next Friday. So at 8:45 a.m., school begins like normal. And students will enter our gate between 8:15 and 8:45. And because it's a minimum day, at 1:23 p.m., school is over. So school goes from 8:45 a.m. to 1:23 p.m. Here's what that means for every sixth grader, every seventh grader, and eighth graders who are not culminating because they're not eligible. So all those three groups of students at 1:23 p.m. they need to leave the campus. That's not a different rule than we normally have, but particularly on that Friday, every sixth grader, every seventh grader, and every non-culminating eighth grader will need to leave the campus at 1:23 p.m. And so how can they do this? You can pick them up if you usually pick up your child, or if you arrange for someone to pick up their child, or if they walk home, or if they take the bus home, they'll just do that at 1:23, no worries. Or if they are part of the Beyond the Bell program, they can participate in the Beyond the Bell program. Beyond the Bell will be starting at 1:23 that day. So if your child is normally part of Beyond the Bell, they'll just do that, and it goes until the normal end time. So nothing different here, but the time is different. So it's a minimum day. So sixth graders, seventh graders, and all culminating eighth graders must leave the campus at 1:23 p.m. Recently, what we've seen is there are some students who sometimes leave campus at the end of the day, and then they'll just kind of hang out on the sidewalk right outside our gate. I'm asking that not occur, and I'll be reaching out to specific families who I know who I've seen kids who've done that over time. Now, culminating eighth graders. So this is the bulk of our eighth graders. They don't have to leave at 1:23. Because I don't think that makes sense, because they've got to be back soon anyway for culmination. They can, but if there are culminating eighth graders who attended school in the morning from 8:45 to 1:23, at 1:23, they can just stay on campus, because again, I don't think it makes sense for them to have to leave and then come back, because at 1:45, 20 minutes later, we open our gates and start welcoming guests of culminating eighth graders, as well as eighth graders who are culminating, who may not have attended school, from 8:45 to 1:23. Here's the thing I'll say about that. A question I've gotten from 8th grade families is, hey, do I have to send my kid from 8:45 to 1:23? Can we just show up at 1:45? And the answer is that's fine. That's fine. We'll mark them present, because that technically is still on campus during the school day here. So, but again, there are some families who need their culminating 8th grader to attend starting at 8:45. So that's fine. We don't kick them out at 1:23. So at 1:45, gates open, reopen again, and it'll be guests of culminating 8th graders as well as 8th graders who are showing up for the first time that day. At 2:15, we want all the 8th graders who are culminating actually on campus, because they have to line up in the back, and we do a processional. So 2:15, please make sure at the very latest your 8th grader, your culminating 8th grader is here. Okay. I see a question in the chat. I'll get to it. When we finish this slide, I'll get that question in the chat. And then at 2:45, the culmination ceremony begins. And at 3:45, the culmination ceremony will end. And we've got folks who are coming to do some decorations. There'll be a nice kind of like photo backdrop if you want to get pictures of your students. It'll be a really, really nice afternoon. Weather looks great, so we're excited to be able to do that. The nice thing about June is that the June gloom seems to only happen in the morning, and it burns off by that time. So it's going to be a really nice event, and we're super excited to celebrate our culminating 8th graders in that particular way. All right, on the question in the chat says, on the site it says 4 guests per each culminating 8th grade student. Does that include parents and siblings? Yes. So 1 8th grader, 4 additional people. If you've got a lap child who's going to sit in your lap, then that won't count towards the 4. So yep, we're just talking essentially about chairs for the event. Great question. And then just as a reminder, all of this event, did I put this on here? I didn't. All this information can be seen on our website. You click the menu and it's 2022 culmination information, and yeah, and you know how to reach out to me if you have additional questions. All right, last couple of COVID updates. Yay, we're back down to 0. We've been at 0 for a couple of weeks now, and we continue safe practices. We continue testing. We're doing testing today. We will do testing next Friday too. So during the morning, next Friday, June 10th, the kids will be tested one last time. You won't get your results till the weekend. If your child, if you're not sending your child to school that day, or if you're an 8th grader and you're just coming for the culmination only, you'll miss testing, but it honestly, it doesn't matter, because there's it's the last day of school. Thank you. That is all the updates from me. I want to say thank you. There have been some anonymous reviews of Katherine Johnson STEM Academy in great schools in the last couple of weeks. So thank you for your honest reviews of that. If you haven't done so yet and you want to put in a review, that is an easy link to do that, bit.ly/KJSA Great Schools. And it allows other families who are looking for something similar to what you all are looking for, and find it here. And yeah, okay. So I'm going to go to Q&A right now, and I'm going to start with the question in the chat. Let me see, we got, do I know about testing prior to next year yet? No. That's the short answer. Here's what, oh, and there's another question. I'll get to that question, that question again from Donna in just a second. I don't know about testing prior to next school year. I also don't know what testing will look like next school year, whether it will occur weekly or whether it will occur bi-weekly or whether it will occur less often. Those are things that the district and the labor partners in the district all kind of work together on. I hesitate to guess. But if I were to guess, it might be something similar to what we did coming back from spring break, where we asked families to rapid antigen, and if it was negative, fine, and if it was positive, please upload and isolate. Do not quote me on that because I am shooting from the hip, and I don't make those decisions. So that's what I mostly don't know at this point. One other quick update about COVID, and then I see the question about the yearbook. For families of kids who are 12 or who are gonna turn 12 before the school year starts, you may have remembered that the district was implementing a policy where all children who were 12 and older were required to get the COVID vaccination, upload that to the Daily Pass in order to be able to attend school in person. The deadline for that originally was back in January, and then the district pushed it to this summer. The latest update is that the deadline is now no earlier than next summer of 2023. And the reason why I say that was because although we encourage all of our families and kiddos to explore their, getting vaccinated, and there's still lots of ways to do that, it's not going to be required until summer of 2023 for 12-year-olds. And that could change between now and 2023. Okay. Hope that answered that. Next question in the chat says, when do the kids get the yearbooks? I think they're supposed to be delivered like today or Monday, because we put in the order early enough so that they could be delivered to the school. So that's a great question. So I think they're scheduled to be delivered either today or Monday, but definitely by the time the school year ends next week. Great question. Arista, I see your hand raised. Do you want to unmute and ask your question?
Yes. The dodgeball game today, is that mandatory?
Everyone is going down there, but we're not going to force a kid to throw dodgeballs at each other if the kid doesn't really want to do that. So there's bleachers, and the child will sit on the bleachers, but we would like to encourage everyone to participate in the dodgeball tournament, but all our classes will be going down there. But again, it's just a fun activity. We're not going to make a kid go out onto the dodgeball floor if they're not comfortable doing that. Good question. What other questions might folks have? Go ahead, Mitzi.
It's not a question, it's a comment and a thank you. I just, coming to the end of our middle school experience is bittersweet. And this is my last child that until I have grandkids, God willing, someday, who will be going through middle school. So I just want to thank you, Mr. Hunsberger, and all of the teachers and staff and everyone and parents for just making this year, and especially coming back from COVID, a really memorable one. And I'm gonna miss KJ. So looking forward to what's coming, but I'm gonna miss what we're leaving.
Well, thank you so much for sharing that. It really is a pleasure for us working with your kids. Let me say this. It is really important at a middle school to have people who like working with middle school age students, and my team loves working with middle school age students. And that is one of the best pieces of this. And so it's really rewarding for me, and it's such a pleasure to be able to work with you as well. See the comments in the chat. I'll read them because they don't show up on the YouTube. I couldn't even agree more. Thanks, Mitzi. Yes, I too thank you, and all the teachers. Heart. But thank you families for partnering with us, for really entrusting us with your students as we go forward in the future. There's another hand raised, Ms. Domingue.
Yes, I share Mitzi's sentiments, but I'm not leaving until 2 years from now.
No worries.
So, I'm so glad to be back. This is my second kiddo who's attended parent, Catherine Johnson. And I wanted to know if next year the dodgeball tournament could be against the 8th graders and the teachers.
Oh, that is a great idea. I can certainly request that happen. 8th graders versus teachers. Yeah, what we have found is that middle school kids are very competitive and seem very competitive, especially if they have an opportunity to compete against an adult. So I love that suggestion, and we'll see what we can do. Thank you so much.
Awesome sauce.
That's so not fair. My kiddo's gonna miss that competition. Maybe we can do it like an alumni event one day.
Absolutely, that would be great.
That would be cool.
You have your first group of seniors graduating this year, so that would be awesome.
I know.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Next
All
year,
right.
yeah.
I know.
It's awesome.
Awesome. Well, I won't hold you any longer. Although this is our last Coffee with the Principal of the year, this doesn't mean I'm done talking with you all. So if anything comes up or you want to reach out, y'all have my email address. Y'all have the school's phone number. It's been a real pleasure. Thank you for all you do. Thank you for entrusting us with your students. And we look forward to a great day today, a great dodgeball tournament, and a great final week of school. Thanks so much, everybody, and have a great weekend. Bye-bye.